Shahnameh, the Book of Kings, an epic not written to glorify rulers, but to remember them. To remember how power is born, how it rises, how it corrupts, and how it always, inevitably, falls. This is the story of ancient Persia, a land shaped by divine kings, tragic heroes, cruel tyrants, and unforgiving fate. A world where honor stands against oppression, and where even the strongest warriors are powerless before destiny. This is the Shahnameh. Long before history was written, before empires were measured in borders and armies, the world lived in chaos. Mountains were wild and unnamed. Rivers flowed without law. Human beings lived in fear of nature, of darkness, and of one another. From this chaos rose the first king of humanity, Kayumars. Kayumars ruled not through conquest, but through wisdom. He taught humans how to clothe themselves, how to hunt, how to live together as a society. Under his guidance, humanity took its first step away from savagery and toward order. But peace is fragile. Dark forces entered the world, and Kayumar's son was killed. For the first time, grief touched mankind. And from grief came the need for stronger rulers. Kings who could protect order against the chaos, always waiting to return. After Kayumars came kings who transformed survival into civilization. Fire was mastered, metal was shaped, villages became cities, but none would shine brighter than Jamshid. Jamshid's reign was a golden age. He introduced medicine, law, craftsmanship, architecture, and social order. Under his rule, there was no hunger, no disease, and no war. People believed that death itself had been defeated. Slowly, Jamshid began to believe that all this perfection existed because of him. He claimed that the world owed him its greatness. He declared himself divine. And in the Shahnameh, pride is never forgiven. The moment Jamshid placed himself above destiny, fortune turned away. The golden age collapsed. From the shadows rose Zahak. At first, Zahak was weak and easily influenced. Dark forces whispered promises of power into his ears. To claim that power, Zahak murdered his own father. As punishment for his corruption, he was cursed. From his shoulders grew two living serpents, eternally hungry. To silence them, Zahak fed them the brains of innocent young men. Thus began the Age of Darkness. For centuries, Persia lived in terror. Families hid their sons, justice vanished. Fear ruled every household. Zahak did not rule through wisdom or loyalty, only through cruelty. But even the longest night must end. A blacksmith named Kaveh lost his sons to Zahak's tyranny. Broken by grief, yet unafraid, he stood before the tyrant and refused to kneel. Instead, Kaveh raised his leather apron as a banner of rebellion. The people followed him. Behind Kaveh rose the true king, Fereydun, a ruler chosen not by fear, but by justice. Together, they defeated Zahak, but instead of killing him, they chained him deep within the mountains. A reminder that evil is never fully destroyed, only restrained. Light returned to the world, and with it, the Age of Heroes began. From this heroic age emerged the greatest champion Persia would ever know, Rostam. Rostam was born with strength beyond ordinary men. His horse, Raksh, was as legendary as he was, a creature fierce enough to battle lions, demons, and monsters. Rostam defended Iran against invading armies and supernatural threats. He completed the 7 labors, slaying dragons, witches, and creatures born of nightmare. To the people, Rostam seemed invincible, but destiny does not fear strength. During one of his journeys, Rostam unknowingly fathered a son, Sohrab. The child grew strong, ambitious, and desperate to meet his legendary father. Years later, war brought them together. Father and son faced one another on the battlefield, strangers bound by blood. They fought with unmatched fury. Neither would yield, neither knew the truth. In the final clash, Rostam struck Sohrab down. As Sohrab lay dying, he revealed a token given by his mother, proof of his lineage. In that moment, Rostam understood. The greatest hero of Persia had killed his own son. His cries echoed through history, a reminder that fate is often cruel and always unavoidable. After this tragedy, the Shahnameh grows darker. Kings still rule, but wisdom fades. One such ruler was Kavuz, ambitious, reckless, and proud. He dreamed not of justice, but of glory beyond human limits. At one point, he attempted to fly to the heavens using eagles bound to his throne. He fell. And once again, it was Rostam who saved him. The Shahnameh teaches us clearly, a foolish king is more dangerous than any enemy. From this broken court emerged Siavash, one of the purest figures in the epic. He was honorable, gentle, and just, everything a future king should be. Betrayed by lies and jealousy, Siavash proved his innocence by riding through fire itself, emerging unharmed. Yet even truth could not save him. Exiled to a foreign land, Siavash brought peace and was murdered for it. His death marked a turning point. From this moment on, the epic shifts. The age of noble heroes gives way to cycles of revenge, sorrow, and endless war. Heroes fade, kings weaken, foreign powers rise. Eventually, Persia no longer battles monsters, but history itself. Alexander the Great arrives not as a villain, but as fate made flesh. The Shahnameh ends not with victory, but with remembrance. Centuries later, when Persian identity and language stood on the edge of disappearance, one man refused to let memory die. His name was Ferdowsi. For 30 years, he devoted his life to writing the Shahnameh, over 50,000 verses, not for wealth, not for power, but for survival. Through poetry, Ferdowsi preserved a civilization, and that is the true meaning of the Shahnameh. It is not about winning, it is about enduring. Empires fall, kings vanish, heroes turn to dust, but stories remain. And as long as the Shahnameh is spoken, Persia is never truly silent.